Welcome back to Sports Cards Analysis. I'm JT with another case break simulation. Today we got 2022-23 O-Pee-Chee hockey. Uh, Real quick disclaimer, I'm going to give you a bunch of information that you can use to buy into breaks to give you a better chance, give you a more informed chance to hit in these breaks. If you hit, blame me. I'm the reason why you hit. If you don't hit, don't blame me. That's all I have to say about that. It's kind of like gambling, you know. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. So first things first, let's see. If you want to pay for the probability of getting a hit, we need to look at which teams have the most cards. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at this price, $23.74.95, which is the cost of a case at Steel City. And then we're going to distribute the cost of that case equally across all of the autographs. And what we do then is we get these prices. And so if you want to pay fair market value for probability and not worry about the value of the cards or the players, the rarity, all that. You want to pay for probability, you pay about $200 or 270 Canadian dollars for the Flyers. This is teams 1 through 10 in order of autograph frequency. So there's page 2, there's page 3. Okay, there we go. And then we want to also look at total number of cards. We're going to skip over inserts and parallels. We're going to look at total number of cards. Now, I calculated the print runs based on one non-numbered card. I made an assumption about how many were in the print run for one of the base parallels. I had the pack, the pack odds. And so then I calculated every other non-numbered card based on that. So when I get this, it's based on 4,600 cases, a little more than 4,600 cases of the product. And if that's wrong, well, that's fine, because then it's wrong equally across all the non-numbered cards. So you're really, the simulation is still valid. So here's total number of cards 1 through 10. There's 11 through 20. And 21 through 30, we'll stop there. There you go. That is, and keep in mind, take screenshots. These are the columns that you want to use when you start to price probability of getting a hit. I've also developed a simulation to run case break simulations. Basically, I run 200 case break simulations. Then I assign value to every single card in the checklist based on rarity, player, insert, parallel, whatever, autograph. And then I run the simulations and I provide you with averages and distributions and things like that. I also rank the players so that I can rank the product. So players that are 5s are high profit guys. Players that are 1 are probably not going to sell, and except in rare cases or maybe team collectors, stuff like that. So this product is distributed like this. These are the 5s, 4s, 3s, 2s, and 1s for players. Lots of 3s, very middle tier product. For the autograph checklist specifically, we're at a 2.5, so right smack dab in the middle. And for the total full product strength, we're at a 3.1. So not as strong of an autograph checklist as normal, but not a terrible product by any means. It's just not ranked very high because, the auto checklist isn't the greatest. So now we're going to look at the average return on investment for 200 cases. So I run all 200 case breaks, and then I average out the return on investment. How much money, when we add up all the values of all the cards that I've assigned, and then we divide it by 200, what does that average look like? So for the Oilers, they come out on top with the over 200 cases. And then you can see 1 through 10 there, and then 11 through 20, and then 21 through 30. And so you can also see things like, who has the strongest checklist. This is what I basically do is I value the cards, and then I multiply that by the print run. And so if you have a lot of 4s and 5s, you're going to have a stronger checklist. If you have a lot of 1s and 2s, you're not. So you will have actually less value, even if you have a high print run. So that these rankings kind of accounts, kind of like a weighted sum. It accounts for teams with the quality of players plus value that you might get. So that's what that means. That's the strength of the checklist. So now we're going to look at what is it by when the cards actually hit in the cases. So what is your ROI when it hits? Instead of dividing it by 200, I divide it by the number of cases it actually hits in. So in that case, we have a little different order here. You can see that the Kraken come out on top. They only hit this is how you read this table: team, hit type, and then the price and number of cases. So what we're saying here is the Kraken autographs hit in 29 cases. And in those 29 cases, on average, we're making about 420 Canadian dollars on those autograph cards. So these are the top 10, and you can see some of these teams don't hit very often. The Bruins only hit in 5 cases. The Panthers only hit in 7 cases, and then there's some good ones like the Stars hit in 60 cases. So we're looking for teams that hit more frequently. We're doing 200 case breaks, so this number 50 is out of 200. So that's 1/4. For every 4 cases you open, one of them will contain an Avalanche autograph on average, and these are the average ROIs by that. So there you go. This is page 2, so 82. We're almost at half with the Blue Jackets. We'll keep going here. There we go. Page 3. And now we're talking about things like parallels and base, where almost every case is going to have a Maple Leafs parallel. And, on average, you'll make about $9. It's pretty good. So if you're chasing parallels, be cautious. But you're going to hit. You're probably always going to hit. That's one of the cool things there. So we've already passed by the autographs, and we're going. This is page 7. I'll just go a couple more here. I'll go to 10. So there's 9. And then there's 10. Just take screenshots and use this when you start buying into breaks. You want to use this information because you don't want to pay $150 for the Bruins. You don't, because they only hit in 5 cases. So your hits are super rare. Not a good idea. Now, by card type, these are subsets and sets. What are some of the more valuable and rare sets? Well, the more rare ones are going to be like the rookie auto Emerald Surge, and this is the number of cases that they showed up in. So some of these only show up in 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 cases out of 200. But let's look at the cards with the most value. We're looking at the photo-driven rainbow autographs, very valuable. They showed up in 21 cases and on average making about 420. Galvanized rainbow autographs, you could see. So there's the top 10 most valuable returns for sets. And the reason why I show you this is so that when you get one of these and you list it on eBay, you can bump the price up, knowing that, okay, the O-Pee-Chee Platinum Hockey updates, it only hits in 2 cases because it's pretty rare. It's an update card. But it's probably worth, well, I don't know if it's worth more than 160 because it's an update card. But, one of these, like this one here, Retro Red Rainbow Auto, is only hitting 12 cases. I mean, we're talking like 1/20th. So for every 20 cases, you'll get one of these Retro Rainbow. Maybe it's worth more than 240. That's why I'm showing you that. So there's the top 10. Let's go to the next page here. There you go. There's the next 11 through 20, 21 through 30, and we'll stop there. So those are the top 30 most valuable subsets. What about players? Let's just look at the players sorted by who has the total highest number of autographs. So here you go, top 20. It's in order. I'm going to have to move past the header so you can't see the header on the table. Here's your top 20 guys, players for autographs. We'll go to the next page and show you that. So here's page 2, number of autographs. Not bad. There's some decent names in here. I should really make this table start with 10 rows instead of 20, so I don't have to do this scrolling thing. But take some screenshots. So that's we'll just go to, I guess, page 4 or 5 here and show you the top 40 or 50 players. Connor McDavid has 191 autographs. So that's why the Oilers are a little less profitable, because his cards are worth a decent amount, but there's less of them. Ovechkin, 181. Start to get to the names that we recognize. So I'll go one more page in. You can see the top 50 names and how many autographs they have. There you go. There's that. We can also sort by total number of inserts, and there's like your top 10. I'll just look at that. Total number of parallels. Obviously, they're all going to be very similar because they're parallels. And then total number of cards. Connor McDavid, tons of cards. 43,000 if my print run calculations are right. Most of them not being autographs, obviously. So there you go. There's that. Now, number of cards. We kind of already went over this in a previous table. So there's your top 10 number of cards by team in the master checklist. If you're searching for one of ones, now I know this is not Fanatics because this is Upper Deck, but Fanatics is giving away $500 every time you hit a one of one. But that's not, this is Upper Deck, so ignore that. Anyway, 506 one of ones. And if you are chasing one of ones, here's the top 10 teams with one of ones. So 25 for the Ducks. So buy the Ducks, you might get a one of one. So here's the simulation results. Case number 200. This is kind of just give you an idea of the value and the quality of the cards that you might see in a break. Everyone expects to hit the best cards every single time, but you should set your expectations a little lower. These are the types of players you're going to get. These are the rarity of cards. These are the print runs. They're not always going to be the best. I think you get one autograph per box. There's 8 boxes per case. So, you're really limited, but you'll get a lot of other stuff. You get a lot of other stuff, parallels, inserts, stuff like that. So that's one of the case breaks out of 200. And then we did get 11 one of ones. So that's, again, 1/20th, right, of the time. So for every 20 cases, you'll get one of one. And here's the first top 10. Now, ROI by team. So I described to you the top teams by ROI, but let's look at how they break out over 20 case breaks. So now you can find the team that you think you want to buy. Like, let's look at the Kraken, or let's look at the Oilers, and let's see how they change break to break. Because, you got decent here, really good there, very low there. So this is to show you that you're not always going to hit. There's been a lot of arguments on Instagram and Twitter about whether or not breaks are gambling. They are gambling, 100%. That's a fact. It's a gamble. And so, you look at these teams, and sometimes they hit, sometimes they don't. That's luck. Luck is gambling. So keep that in mind. The Kraken do pretty well. The Oilers do pretty well. Sabres do pretty well. Not too bad. You might, if you're like me, I like the Blackhawks. That's my favorite team. So I would buy in just because they have a little bit to give each and every break. I could probably get them cheap. You're not going to get any of those Bedards, but that's okay because it's 1 year too early. But that's how they break out. Use this information. This is important stuff. You buy the Flyers, you might hit, you might not. You should really set your expectations. So here's which teams had the most number of cards in my simulations. This is not the master checklist. This is just the top 10 teams returned in the simulation, which I consider to be very realistic simulation. So keep that in mind. Stars had 2 one of ones. The Kraken had 2 one of ones. So if you are chasing one of ones, maybe the Ducks weren't the best team. Maybe it was the Stars. Because that's what happened in my simulation. And now, finally, I wrap it up by showing you by each card type who had the most, which teams had the most. So top 10 teams for autographs, 8 per box, 200 case breaks. There you go. These are the teams. Seems like a lot more than what I should have here. Maybe, I don't know. I should have 1,600, right? But I'm not going to add that up in my head. It just seems like more. Maybe I check my math. And then for base, if you care, there you go. Inserts. There's the top 10 for inserts, and there's the top 10 for parallels. That's it. That's 2022-23 O-Pee-Chee hockey. Thanks for watching. Hit like, subscribe, all that stuff that people always do. And remember to let me know in the comments what kind of cards you hit. Bye.